This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian.
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit, Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
What's up, guys? This is Buster, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, James J., and it's a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with Str8 Bustin. Buster!
Right here.
How are you today,
yes.
Buster?
I'm all good. I'm happy to be on the podcast. It's awesome.
Happy to have you on as well. And can you tell us where you will be seeing you Str8 Busting event-wise next?
Yeah, so basically the upcoming events are the 3rd of May in Copenhagen, Denmark. I'm doing 2 shows actually. One with Body Slam Pro Wrestling, and one for Nordic Elite Wrestling in the same town, actually. And then the week after, we're having, I'm also wrestling for, again, Body Slam Pro Wrestling, the 10th of May, also in Copenhagen, which is also going to be an amazing show. You can also catch me on my different socials, especially Instagram, at Wonderkid Buster, Wonderkid Buster. Same with TikTok, it's also at Wonderkid Buster.
And where can we find merchandise?
Merchandise, hit me up, DM, and then I can figure something out with you. Perfect. If you're interested in merch.
And you don't have to go looking for it. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox. Alright, you mentioned it. You work for Body Slam and Nordic Elite Wrestling. Can you tell us about your relationship with those companies?
Yeah, okay, so I will start with Body Slam Pro Wrestling, since it's like, I would describe that as like my home promotion. That's where I started. My very first match was with Body Slam Pro Wrestling, and at Body Slam Pro Wrestling, I work as a babyface. I work as the good guy. I work as this like character inspired by an old children's movie. So I come out to like this Danish song, which is also about a kid called Buster, of course, and then the whole crowd sings along to the song, and which they love to do. Yeah, and overall, I work as this good guy in a tag team with another good guy wrestler, another underdog wrestler called Toby Zane. You can also find him on Instagram at Toby Zane. He's also a good wrestler. And yeah, that's basically what I do in Body Slam. Doing a lot of tag team wrestling with Toby Zane there, and in Nordic Elite Wrestling, I'm actually working as a whole different type of character. There, I'm doing more of like a heelish character, a bad guy. I'm working as Str8 Bustin, which is like my arrogant, the classic arrogant. Cocky young guy who just likes himself way too much. And here I'm doing this a tag team with another wrestler called Nerva, called the Cloud Chasers, and our whole shtick is that we're social media guys. We love all the clicks and the followers and likes on Instagram and TikTok, and we want everybody to go in and follow us because we are the new hot thing in wrestling. So yeah, that's basically the two things I'm doing at the moment, at least.
It's kind of interesting. I mean, you're doing two different gimmicks in literally the same region. Like, I mean, if you were doing it like in, you know, you were a good guy in Denmark, but was a heel in Sweden, like I would understand that. But I mean, the distance between a Nordic Elite and Body Slam is not that far.
No, not at all.
So, what's that experience like? I could imagine that would maybe confuse some fans.
I mean, one of my very first shows as the heelish guy, I had a couple of fans coming up to me saying, "Where is Buster? What's happening with this guy? Who's this guy? We usually love you. What is? Now you're just annoying." And then I said, "Oh, I wanted to try something new." So I would say when I'm Buster, fans usually cheer me. They know that they should cheer me. So and then when I switch like the gear and turn into the heelish character, they boo. So I don't know if they forget me from show to show. I don't think so. I think they just get that, okay, now he's annoying. I don't like this guy. He's saying stuff to us and acting towards us as in a way that we don't like. He's being too arrogant right now. And then when I'm Buster, I come into the song that they love. I tell them that I'm doing it for them, and now all of a sudden they are like, "Oh, this guy, he's cool. He's doing it for us. We love that." So I think the whole divide it ends up working because people get, okay, now he's coming in as something else, and now I don't like him. Whereas when I change to the good guy, they're like, okay, now he's doing something else again, and now I love it. So some get confused, but in overall they get it. It seems like.
Okay.
All of them.
So basically, depending on what you come out to is when they know when to boo or cheer.
Yeah, exactly. Because I haven't been cheered yet as the Str8 Bustin character. Haven't been cheered yet. They usually boo me and Nick Nerva out of the building. They hate us. It's quite an experience. I must say. And the Buster thing, haven't gotten a boo yet as Buster as well. So I think for now there is a divide between the two characters. And I hope that it stays and that people don't get too confused with it. Which, for example, I do both characters as well on my Instagram, and I try to differ between the two, using, for example, sunglasses when I'm Str8 Bustin to try and emphasize the whole arrogant vibe with him. And I hope that it helps differentiate between the two. So that you can see a difference.
And speaking of the song that you come out to, could you tell us what song that is?
Yeah, so it's an old Danish song by a Danish artist, of course, which is linked up to like an old Danish children's movie. The song is called Buster, just plain old simple Buster, and the song basically is just like the theme song for the movie. So in the song, they in the chorus they sing "Oh Booster," which basically means "Oh Buster," and then the crowd, whenever it plays, they sing along to the whole "Oh Booster" part. So just like it makes sense for like the character being called Buster, of course. But yeah, it's like an old Danish song. So in Denmark, it makes sense, but whenever the Danes hear it, because they know, okay, oh, I remember this song. This is nostalgic from when I was a child, back when this song was played. So that's basically the whole vibe of that song.
I was gonna say, because it seems like the crowd is really into it, like singing along to either the Edge or Randy Orton song, like they're invested.
Yeah, and I think first whenever I come out with that song, they're like, "Oh shit, that's my." Oh, sorry, I don't know if I can curse.
You could say whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, perfect. Okay, but they're like, "Oh shit, that's my that's from my childhood. I remember this song. This is nostalgic. I love it." And then I transfer this into like the wrestling aspect, because all of a sudden, whenever I'm getting beaten up, I remember one time I was getting beaten up, and the crowds began singing a part of the song where he says, where she says in the song, something along the lines of, "Are you looking at the stars, Buster?" Basically, me laying down, looking up into the sky. So they're using parts of the song to chant for me to get up and fight back, which I found quite surprising. Actually, I never saw in my wildest dreams that they would use that song so much, the crowd and the chants for me, which I quite love. So yeah, the song plays a very vital part in the gimmick I play in Body Slam, at least. Yeah.
And I mean, speaking of Body Slam, it's very hard to be a heel in Body Slam when you have Kollaps running around. And you were a part of essentially the collapse of Kollaps in a War Games match. Very brutal, lots of violence. Can you tell us about being in that War Game match against Kollaps?
Oh yeah, that was such a fun time. Like as a wrestler, I liked being in that match. But it also, like, with the whole story we had set up, just taking my own part, because the whole Kollaps story was very big in the whole grand scheme of things. There was a lot of different elements to it, and we had me and Toby being a part of it as well, with Kollaps beating us down every show up until that big show with the War Games match, with me starting in against Bam Bam Fell, also a very good wrestler. I would say go check him out as well. But yeah, that was such a special moment. I love working with Bam Bam Fell. He's a very seasoned wrestler. He's good at a lot of things. Of course, the beginning we came up with basically starting out with like a bull rope match inside of the War Games match, which was very weird way to start, but I loved it because it was so different from what I've seen before from different War Games matches. And then, of course, with every other opponent getting in, using different weapons on each other, me beginning to bleed during the match was such a fun experience to try. Even though usually bleeding is not like a good thing, I loved it. I thought it was very cool to try and do to bleed during a wrestling match. And of course, I got one of my favorite things during my whole career up until now, being a big Jeff Jarrett fan. I got to hit Bam Bam over the head with an acoustic equalizer, a guitar, which was, oh my god! That was like, as a wrestling fan, not only a wrestler, but as a wrestling fan, that was a big moment for me to just hit someone over the head with a guitar. That was so cool. So the whole War Games match, I loved it very much, and I heard from fans after the event as well that they liked the match. So I was very happy with it. One of my favorite matches I've had, like for now in my career at least. So cool, such a cool experience. Yeah, especially being inside of that cage. Haven't been in a cage match once before before that match. That was also a very surreal experience. Couldn't use the ropes that much because if we bounced into the ropes, we would hit our heads and backs into the cage. So we were very limited during the match, which also like gave such a lot of things to like think about during the whole process of the match. So it's so cool. It was such a cool match, such a cool experience, and would love to try it again. At least would love to try it again, especially the guitar part. That was fun. That was very fun.
Well, you started the match, and I don't think that people appreciate the two people that start the match as much as they should, considering you're going a better half of 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So what did it kind of mean to you to be the first person to start the match for your team? Considering, you're setting the tone for the night.
I feel that was very that was such an honor to get started. Also because there was so many great people in that match that could have started, and to choose me, that was such a big honor. Especially again with like setting the tone for the match. I felt like we did our part in the beginning. Especially with the whole bull rope stuff, which was very it worked luckily. But yeah, just the whole be getting like knowing that the other people thought, oh, you were good enough to start out the match. That felt gratifying for me. That felt like, okay, I can do this. I'm good enough to be at this level. As opposed to if I came out fourth, and all of the other people had already done a bunch of stuff, being there, doing a lot of the stuff that was in the match, which was just such a big moment, especially because this was one of Body Slam's, if not the biggest show we've had until yet. That felt like it felt you had a lot of weight put on your shoulders, and then after when the match went well, then it felt amazing. Can't explain the feeling like perfectly, but it was like a feeling of euphoria nearly. It was just such an amazing moment in my career, and I hope to try some of that stuff again later on. Of course, on a bigger scale even. But for now, this was, if not the best, then at least in the top 3 of my favorite moments ever in my career. 100%.
When it's all said and done, is that a moment you take in the moment? Considering everything, the War Games match, the biggest crowd, all of that? Or is it something that you take in afterwards, like, wow, that happened?
I mean, yeah, I remember after the match, of course, I was like all smushed up with like blood in my face and stuff. And normally, when you're bloody in your face, you will go to the shower and wash it off. But I had like at least 15 to 30 minutes of me just sitting in the back, having a breather, just like getting like the whole, okay, I just need to calm down. I've done this now. This was awesome. I just need to take it all in, have a short break, talk with the people I had in the match, and just like be in the moment basically, because this was like so different from a lot of the stuff I've tried before. Normally I'm quite quickly with like getting into the whole, okay, now we have to change gear, or we have to like change into our clothes, go to the showers, all that stuff. But this time I was sitting there in the back, just looking into the air, just thinking the match through, everything, what I liked, what I didn't like, all that stuff. Definitely. That was like a whole moment of me just sitting in the back, waiting doing nothing, just looking straight ahead. Before before I actually could do anything else, I had to just sit and soak in the moment. And that was like an awesome feeling as well. The whole, I had so much adrenaline pumped up before the match, and then when it was over, it was like an adrenaline dump. I was just out, like mentally, I was out after the match. And it was like such a weird experience, but also so awesome. Such a perfect way to cap off the night, in my opinion.
All right. Let's talk about another guy that was in that match. You mentioned him, your tag team partner, Toby Zane. Can you tell us about your relationship with him?
Yeah, okay. So Toby Zane is like, he's been in the game for a long time. He's been there for 12 years, I think, in Body Slam. So he's kind of like taken this mentor role in the tag team. It started out with us having a couple of showdowns, one friendship match in his hometown, which he won, and then we decided to pair up. I decided that maybe we would fare better together than against each other, and yeah, that's basically when the whole tag team pair up came about with me and Toby Zane, and yeah, I think it's basically like a mentor student role pair up we're having right now, where I'm basically trying to learn how to become more focused and on the match, not being as, oh, we need to show off in front of the crowd. No, we also have to remember we have to win, where Toby is better at that than I am, because I'm still very new. So I can get carried away in the moment. And that's where Toby comes in and basically helps out here. Of course, we're both underdogs. So he has a lot of the whole underdog thing to teach to me, how to become how to become the bigger dog in the fight. That's basically like what he's trying to do in this very moment. And we've had the whole run-ins with Kollaps, and I feel like we've put that on the back burner now after the War Games match. So right now I am looking forward to a lot of victories as a tag team, and hopefully maybe in the future some Buster and Toby tag team gold in the future. That is, I think that is what we're going to set our sights on at this very moment in time, after the whole Kollaps ordeal.
Hell yeah. Now, what's a personality quirk about Toby that you just don't understand?
Okay, that's a good question. A personality quirk. Well, okay, yeah, a personality quirk. He's a brony. I don't know. I'm not that into the whole brony thing as Toby Zane is. I guess if it works for him, then it works for him. I don't quite get it. Like he has the whole My Little Toby Zane thing going on, and I don't know. That's not really for me. But I'm like, you do you, Toby. Again, if it works, he has won a couple of more times than I have, so I guess it works. So maybe I should incorporate the whole My Little Toby thing into my arsenal. Maybe I should actually look in. Maybe it would work better for me to be a brony instead of the whole Buster thing. I just don't see it. I don't see it. So I think that's the weirdest personality quirk for him.
Sounds like you need some more Twilight sparkle in your life.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe some rainbows, some dashing pants and stuff. Maybe that would help me.
Well, speaking of Toby, I find it interesting that you once had a triple threat with Toby that you co-won against Jackpot.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, okay. That was like that whole match, that whole thing. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna give you some backstory. So we had this American guy who began training with us because he had moved from America, and he had once wrestled, but he unfortunately got injured in the States, and he had a long time. He was a long time away from wrestling, but he began training with us again. His name is Tyler. Um, and that day, his parents from the States had traveled over, so he had gotten a match, and I was having the match against him. Unfortunately, he was late during that day, so the match preparations were very like 10 minutes before the bell. So he basically forgot everything. Like it was such like it was a clusterfuck. I like can't describe it any other way. But basically, that weird singles match I had with him turned into a triple threat with me and Toby and Jackpot against each other. With of course Jackpot being the dick and me and Toby being the heroes in the story. And I think just because we hate Jackpot that much, Toby Zane in that moment chose Buster. I don't need to win this. As long as Jackpot loses, then I don't care about any like who wins. We just need this guy to lose. So we double stacked him and his manager Tyler, and we double pinned those pieces of trash because they were, oh my god, they were cheating, they were yelling at the crowd, they were being assholes, to say it mild. So Toby Zane chose in that very moment, hey, we're teaming up here. Fuck these guys. We're getting them out of here. I don't like these. I don't like them. Possibly that was actually the moment, one of the first moments of tag team synergy that formed the whole tag team later on in the whole story with Toby Zane. So that was actually I think that was the start. That was the start of the whole thing. That was a cool match. Weird match, but very cool. I also remember during the match, at one point, Toby kicked me in my face while I was standing on the top rope, and I fell off the top rope down to the floor and hit my foot. So it nearly broke as well. So that match was one of the weirdest matches I've had in my career, with the greatest finish ever, with us both pinning those two guys.
I mean, it sounds like the lead up was very confusing.
Yeah.
With
was.
Tyler not coming in.
Yeah.
How do you kind of mentally adjust to that? Like, okay, I'm supposed to wrestle this guy for whatever, and then 10 minutes before the show, they're like, no, it's gonna be you, Toby, and Jackpot.
Well, I was so basically the whole thing was very quickly thrown together. After, luckily, we used a couple of things that we've tried before, so that's why it gelled better than expected. And yeah, I was kind of stressed because I was going to have a match with a guy who wasn't there, who came in late. So yeah, definitely, I was kind of stressed, but knowing those two, knowing that I've worked with these guys so many times and I've trained with them and all that stuff, I know what they like to do. I know what makes sense for them. And they know what makes sense for me. And that's why I think it gelled better than, let's say, I was wrestling two guys I didn't know at all. So 100% the whole knowing these two guys, knowing their styles, helped put a calm on me before the match, especially with the whole Tyler not showing up thing, which was crazy. That was definitely an experience for a young, unexperienced Buster to go into, not knowing what he needs to do because a guy didn't show up. But yeah, luckily it turned out fine in the end with the whole triple threat match, because it could have gone so horrible, but it went fine. Definitely went fine.
Now, let's go to the Nordic Elite side.
Yeah.
The Cloud Chasers. Tell us about Nick Nerva.
Yeah. Nick Nerva. So Nick is, I've also trained with him a lot. He's like, he's more on the buffer side. He's more buff than Toby is. So he's definitely like a different type of wrestler as opposed to Toby. Nick is I think we gel better in a different way from Toby. Toby and me work in the whole we're underdogs vibe, where Nick and me, we give off arrogant pieces of trash vibe when we come out. And the whole thing we're doing right now is he's like this fitness coach thing we're trying to pull off. So he's trying to sell his fitness mentorship, and I'm more in the whole get rich scheme type of thing. So I'm like, go in and buy my online mentorship to get rich. This whole Sigma thing. So we're like, it's a whole different vibe. We're two dickheads who think we're better than everyone, who think, hey, go in, use all your hard-earned money on us, and we'll make you kind of better, but not really. And our style also reflects the whole arrogant vibe. Coming in, Nick does a lot of posing. He loves to flex his muscle while he does the pin. And he loves doing the stalling suplex, really showing off his muscles, where I'm more of like a, okay, you beat them up, Nick. And then I come in and I beat them up. If they attack me, I get you back in, and then you beat them down again. So I'm more of the, I'm arrogant, but I know I can, I know I have this big guy that can protect me, and that's why I'm arrogant. So the it's not like a student mentor role there. It's more of like a two dumb, arrogant guys who just wants to earn money. Is the whole vibe we're going off there. And Nick is a good wrestler as well. We've had a couple of matches. I think we've had two, as the Cloud Chasers, very new tag team in Nordic Elite Wrestling. We've had two, and we've won both. So perfect record until now. I probably jinxed it now though. But we're doing good. We're eating. And Nordic Elite Wrestling, all the Nordic Elite Wrestling tag teams, they can't follow along. We're showing them all. That's like I love working with Nick. I hope this tag team, I also hope gets going quickly and possibly some tag team gold in Nordic Elite Wrestling in the future. That could be cool as well as the Cloud Chasers. Although I think the crowd will hate us even more if we come out wearing gold around our waist. God damn, that will piss off the whole crowd. But yeah. So Nick Nerva is a whole different type of wrestler to work with as opposed to Toby Zane. So it's very like for me, I do two very different characters with two very different wrestlers. So when I go to work for Nordic Elite Wrestling, as opposed to Body Slam, it's two very different mindsets that I walk in with, which I find quite intriguing, because all of a sudden I can get two different, I practice two different things at the same time, basically. And that's just I'm very happy with like the position I'm in right now, and getting to practice doing very different things. I find that very cool, very special. I'm in a special place right now, I feel like, with the two different things I'm doing. So I love working for Nordic, love working with Nick, love working for Body Slam with Toby Zane as well. Just because of the different sides that I get to test with myself.
I mean, your second tag team match together, you beat Carlos Zamora and Madison Marley. I mean, two of the bigger names in Nordic wrestling right now. So, they clearly see something there.
Yeah, hell yeah. Easily beat him, easily. We're on top, man.
Speaking of Nick, like Toby, what's a personality quirk that you just don't understand about him?
That's a good question as well. Ooh, what's a personality quirk that I don't get with Nick? Ooh. Well, I think maybe his flexing at times. He's very into it, like his body. He's a bit too much into his body. I am getting scared at points. I'm like, are you in love with yourself or something? What is happening here? Like, you have to remember as well, we have to win. And the third time you're doing the flexing pose and they kick out, now I'm getting desperate. Now I want to win. And you're still doing the flexing thing. So maybe ease up on the whole flexing thing. We have to remember we're here to win and get out of here and earn money. We're not here to flex. We don't need to do that. We're already better. We know that. We're beating Carlos Zamora. We're beating Madison Marley. We're beating all of these guys. We don't need to flex because they know we're better. So the whole flexing thing is definitely the quirk I'm thinking here. Definitely.
Well, definitely you don't have a problem with is having some business ventures. You have a referral program that may or may not be considered a pyramid scheme. You have a mentorship for $10,000. For Black Friday, you even knocked off 1 cent. And you have a cryptocurrency called Sigma Coin.
Yeah. Very, like, $10,000. Let's be honest, that's affordable. That's me being generous. Listen, the whole, like, listen. As I said in a video once, it's not a pyramid scheme. This is me giving back just a teeny tiny bit of my perfect self. This is not me trying to trick anyone. The same with the Sigma mentorship, of course. It may seem a bit pricey at times, but I promise it's worth the price. I mean, as you said, I'm defeating Carlos Zamora and Madison Marley, so I'm doing something right. So of course, I need to charge $10,000. And as you said, Black Friday deal. I took, like, I was giving deals left, right, and center. No, I don't even remember how much I gave. What was that like? I think it was $9,999. That's like a perfect deal for the Sigma mentorship during Black Friday. So I'm I think I'm being nice here with the whole prices I'm giving out and the whole business ventures I'm doing. And Sigma Coin, I mean, where do I begin? That's just that's an easy way to get rich for all my beautiful fans out there. Just go in and pay me a teeny tiny sum of money, and then you'll get rich. Let's be honest here. That's just me me being nice, giving just a teeny tiny bit of myself, my godlike self to all the fans out there. There's Str8 Bustin being nice again.
I mean, obviously, I had to bring it up because, the haters are gonna hate. They're gonna call it a pyramid scheme. And, some people just don't understand. Greatness demands, the price.
Yeah, exactly. And bringing up, like, saying it's a pyramid scheme, come on, that's not, I'm just, again, if you go out and you get referrals and they go in and pay to me, of course I'll get more money. And then at one point in the future, I don't have a specific date yet. I'm still working on that. Maybe in a couple of months, maybe in a couple of years, I'm looking into it. Then I'll be able to pay all that money back to the beautiful fans who helped me along the way. That's like the end goal. So there's no tricking or scheming or anything. I'm just being a businessman and showing how to be a good businessman, and that's by not tricking but investing in yourself, which is what I'm very adamant about in all my different ventures. It's all about investing in yourself, and then you'll become a better person and a richer person in life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, from a great thing to a not so great thing. Early on into your career, you had an ankle injury. Can you tell us about that?
Okay, yeah. So first of all, the ankle injury, the whole way it got injured, isn't such a cool story. Again, so I can start out by telling how I got injured. So I was in the gym, doing my normal workout with a friend, and at one point we thought it would be a good idea to do some shoot wrestling in the gym. Being two big tough guys, I don't know why we did it. And at one point he kind of pushed me, and I tripped over a weight and landed on top of my ankle, and it just snapped.
Oh, God.
So yeah, the way I broke my ankle is the least impressive story ever. It wasn't that cool, but yeah. So I got I had to wait until the day after to actually go to the hospital, because they thought it was just like a bruise. So they said to me, okay, wait until tomorrow and come in, and then we'll check on you. So I was sleeping with the whole broken ankle during the night, which was horrible as well. And then I got to the hospital, and they told me, oh, you actually snapped your bone in 3 different places. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you for helping me when I needed your help. And they actually said, oh, we actually need to do an operation on you. So they sent me to a different hospital where I had to get like metal screws and metal plates into my foot. Yeah, that was a horrible time. That was a horrible time in like my wrestling career and life in general. Couldn't do any of the shows I had planned to do. Couldn't do any of the things I wanted to do. No training, no nothing. Like I was in a slump. Yeah, that was not a good time. But luckily I actually I rehabilitated very fast. Like the first thing they told me when I got out was that I was probably looking at a rehabilitation period of 9 months. So until like I broke my ankle in March, and they told me I was able to wrestle again in November. Which when I heard that I was devastated. But yeah, then luckily I rehabilitated fast, and I was actually ready to wrestle again in July, which was great. So I was ready to wrestle at the Body Slam show in August, which I was so happy for. That was one of the happiest moments in my life. Just the moment when I walked out in front of that audience again was amazing. Yeah, it's like an emotion I can't describe. That's also my top 3 wrestling moments ever. Getting back from my ankle injury, because that had like taken a lot of like power and effort, and that was a horrible time. That was a horrible time. Laying in bed, looking at all the different, like all my wrestling friends, buddies, going out doing shows that I wanted to do, and not being able to do any of it because of me being stupid in the gym, which was basically the reason as to why I kept off 3 months of my wrestling career. Luckily, only 3 months, but yeah.
Moral of the story: don't shoot Russell in the gym.
No. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. That is the dumbest decision I've ever done. Like, absolute dumbest. By God.
Well, maybe not rich in money wise, but a rich experience. You worked WXW. Obviously one of the bigger companies in the region. What was that experience like?
Yeah, that was also to repeat myself, an awesome experience, because especially I had a match in a mask against Thomas Shire and one called Manders, where I got to take the famous cowboy lariat, which was that was terrifying, but also great to try out. So yeah, just going out with such a big production and such a big audience, and being on all their media like Instagram and all that. That was cool. That was very cool, and definitely an experience I want to try again. I respect WXW very much. I think they were doing great. A lot of great wrestling, great wrestlers, great production, great stories, and all that stuff. So being able to be a part of all that on such short notice, like I got the opportunity while I was down there, that was wow. That was, I like, that was perfect way to experience WXW, in my opinion, getting in there in that ring, and such a different experience from wrestling here in Denmark. So that was awesome. Also getting to wrestle there, one of the top guys. I wrestled Peter Tiani, or wrestled. I got beat up by Peter Tiani, and wearing shorts and training shorts and fake tattoos, trying to impersonate Ilya Bloom. That was also quite an experience, sitting there in the back while a bunch of the other wrestlers were laughing, putting fake tattoos on me, water dripping down from my body, only standing in my boxers. That was cool. That was cool, but also not very cool at the same time. But I mean, just getting that opportunity, I was very very thankful, very grateful. Also getting to train with them the week after, a lot of very smart brains in that whole production. Robert Dreisker, Peter Tiani, all those guys. Nothing but respect for them. And they taught me a lot while I was down there. Also, Manders taught me a lot, and Thomas Shire as well. And Adam Priest, I also had a couple of sessions with him. And they're so knowledgeable wrestlers. And it's great being around so many knowledgeable wrestlers this early in my career. because I've like whenever I go down there and I train with them and I work with them, I get like a whole new like vision and whole new perspective on wrestling. So whenever I come back here and I sit and I think about it, I have I completely change direction and like approach on how I wrestle in the matches when I'm up here in Denmark again. So that's just like I'm so grateful for all the opportunities I've had down there, and I hope to work more with them in the future. Definitely.
So not looking to get tattoos in the future.
I mean, if I was to get more tattoos in the future, they should stay. I don't want the whole water thing anymore, and probably not that many at the same time. Let's ease up a bit, just like one, then maybe another if I want to, but not 10 at the same time. I'm not up for that again. No.
But you mentioned one called Manders, Thomas Shire, very much American boys. Obviously different perspective, different way of wrestling compared to Denmark. What was it like being in the ring with, a different version of pro wrestling?
Eye-opening. That lariat. Ooh. You feel it. You definitely feel it. Let's just say that. But yeah, again, two very knowledgeable wrestlers, two very cool wrestlers. I love I love American wrestling. Always been a fan of it. As I said before, big Jeff Jarrett fan. Always has been. Same with Bret Hart and guys like that. So getting to work with two Americans that know so much of like the American way of wrestling was very cool and very, again, eye-opening. I have a whole new perspective on how I should wrestle now when I'm in Denmark again. How I like to wrestle when I'm in Denmark. Because the way that we wrestle sometimes, as you said, are very different from how they do in America. And I wish to incorporate more of the American style in my style in the future, because I'm just such a big fan of it. I think it's so cool. Mostly like the old school stuff. That's so cool. I love it. Love the whole gritty guy in high waist trunks, beating the living hell out of each other. Yeah, so cool. And that's basically what I got to experience against those two when they beat me up while I was wearing a lucha mask on a German show. So yeah, definitely. Again, at least in the top 5 of greatest wrestling experiences I've had in my life.
What was it like working under a mask?
That was new. That was very new. Luckily, I was wearing one of my good pals, Rayo Flores' mask. He has some good quality masks, because I've tried once wearing a very low quality mask, and believe me, they scoot around on your head. All of a sudden, they're on backwards, and you can't see nothing. You have to like turn it around. But his mask was like sat perfectly on my head. I'm not gonna. It's not a thing I'm gonna incorporate though. I'm not that fond. I like to be out and show my face. I feel like that's one of my good attributes. I hope, at least. I don't know what others perceive, but I think it's one of my good attributes. So yeah, I hope I hope I'm not gonna wear a mask that much in the future. And just keep it at, let's show my face, please, guys, please. Yeah. So fun experience Would I try again? No, not really. No.
Well, you mentioned, we talked about the War Games match being your number one moment, or your top three moments, and your return from your ankle injury being a part of your top three moments. What's your third top three moment?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was actually just thinking that while I was talking about the whole Manders thing. I think my one of the last top three moment is my debut for Body Slam Pro Wrestling in Pumpehuset against Peter Alexander, also a very good wrestler, also a guy you should check out if you haven't checked him out. But Peter Alexander, my first match against him was it's still a moment I remember dearly. I remember coming to the back after just feeling, again, the same feeling I had after the War Games match. I just had to sit down and just feel myself again and soak in the moment after the whole, all the crowd noise. The crowd finally, they sang along to my song, and I was shocked. I was starstruck by the moment. So yeah, definitely my debut match against Peter Alexander, such a special moment, such a cool moment. A match I still watch back from time to time, just to get a sense of the feeling, the different feelings I had during that match. Yeah, because that was just special. And again against someone so seasoned as Peter Alexander, it just went well. Thinking that it was my first match, so yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite moments ever. So in the top three with the other two, definitely that one.
All right, Peter making it into two of your top three moments.
Yeah, that was crazy actually. Snake.
Does he get a discount on Sigma Coin?
Well, on the account that he tried to re-break my ankle during just at my return after the broken ankle. I think that the discount. No, I don't think so. I don't think he deserves it. He tried to re-break my ankles. No, definitely not. He's a snake. He's a piece of trash.
Well, let's get into Buster's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
Yes, I can. I think I have the perfect one. So a time after, so basically we have this big van for the wrestlers, this big wrestler bus, you could almost call it. It's kind of like a handicap van, I think, actually. But it's for the wrestlers. And once I was once at a Pumbu show while I had my broken ankle. I was just there to witness the show, to support my buddies and stuff. But on the way home from that show, where it was already very late, I think it was 1 or 2 in the evening, or in the night actually, 1 or 2 in the night. And we were riding home from Copenhagen, and at one point we were driving off to get some food. And all of a sudden the driver said, "Guys, I can't put the car back in gear. The gear doesn't work. The gearbox doesn't work." And he couldn't put it in a handbrake as well. So the only thing that worked on the car was the brake. Everything else was shut. Didn't work at all. So we had all the wrestlers, except for me and Bam Bam, going out pushing the van, pushing the bus up the road to the restaurant, and the restaurant was like down a hill as well. So we had me and Bam Bam was sitting in the car rolling down a hill with like a car that didn't work at all. But luckily we got to like the restaurant safely and didn't die or anything, or didn't crash. So we were there at the restaurant being stressed out of our mind because how are we going to get home? We still had like a 3-hour drive home. And all of a sudden one of the other guys had bought like a cab, but not for all the guys. So like we were 8 guys and it was only for 4 of us. And the other 4 were basically still stranded. So we had to buy our own cab. And it came, picked us up. And we reached the train station where we had to get a train at like late night. But we missed that train. So we were sitting on the train station for 2 hours waiting for a train. Oh, and basically nearly falling asleep waiting for a train because our dumb van didn't work. And all of a sudden, when the train finally arrived, we were going down to catch the train. When Bam Bam and the other guy we were with got into the train, the door suddenly closed before I even got into the train.
Oh no.
Yeah, and my phone was nearly dead for battery as well. So I quickly like threw in my my crutch to like stop the doors. But the doors just closed around my crutch. And I quickly pulled it out. And I could just see Bam Bam's face. He was like nearly shitting himself because he was just thinking of like I had to wait for 3 hours more before the next train would arrive again. But luckily, doors opened again. I don't know if like a train conductor saw me or something, but they opened. I got into the train and everything was good. But for a small second, I was thinking I'm gonna sleep here on the train station with a broken ankle, alone. Luckily, it didn't happen. Luckily, it didn't goddamn happen. But that was that's like we're calling it our train ride from hell, because that was definitely like a train ride from hell. We have this picture of me because we're at like a stop right before I had to get off. So a stop where we had to change trains, and there is this picture of me sitting on the train station with my crutches, just leaning on them because I'm like dying inside, waiting for the next train to arrive. Yeah, so that was, oh my God, that was the worst ride home from a show ever. And I didn't even get to wrestle on that show because I had a broken ankle. So why did I come to the show? I don't know. I just did. Yeah, that was definitely the worst one.
Did they ever find out what happened to the car?
I think it was just very old. I think it was like riding on its last legs, and it was supposed to go to like the junkyard the week after. So they hoped for like one last trip for it, but it didn't have one last trip in it. So yeah, that was why it died, because it should have went to junk a week earlier.
All right. Well, definitely a great story, to say the least.
Yes, 100%.
Now, can you tell us about your hatred for Ohio?
Oh, yeah, I definitely can. By God. Okay, so Ohio. There is this whole... it was basically a whole thing on the internet. And there's people saying that Ohio doesn't exist.
What?
And I wholeheartedly believe all those people on the internet, because when has the internet ever lied to me? I can't remember a time when I have ever been lied to by the internet. So that's why when they tell me Ohio isn't a place, I believe them. Ohio is not a place that exists. So whenever someone tells me, "Oh, Ohio exists," I get mad. Like I get furious. Because why are you trying to lie to me? All my friends on the internet are saying that it's fake. It's fake news. That's why oh, Ohio, I don't like it. I hate it. Just as much as I hate Copenhagen. That's a filthy place as well, Copenhagen. That's definitely why the Ohio hatred is coming from.
Okay. But how can it not be a place if you said that a million was from Ohio?
Okay. Hey. Now you're twisting my words, right? Okay. So listen. Ohio. All these. When I say millions are from Ohio, right? I'm saying all the people that believe it exists. That's where I'm coming from, right? But basically, it's not a place. Again, while like the whole Sigma trend was going on, the wrestler, all that stuff, people were saying Ohio isn't real. And I trust guys like the wrestler, the Costco guys, all those things. And they're saying Ohio isn't real. And I gotta believe him. You know, that's that's the thing. That's where it's from, you know.
Can you tell us something that's very real, and that is your top 3 songs of the week?
Yeah. Okay. So do you want me to explain the concept, or do you want me to give you my top 3 songs of the week?
Let's do both.
Okay, yeah. I'll start with the concept. So I would say like I'm a big music lover. I wouldn't say I'm like a total music geek, because I think there's people who are more into music than I am. Like some of the music creators. I don't know if you know the Fantano guy who does like he reviews music. He's more of a music nerd than me, but I still think I'm very much into music. Like I can just sit and listen to a whole album from start to finish, just to figure out if I like an artist or not. So yeah, and the whole top 3 songs of the week is me basically trying to find new music to listen to, because I always like to find new music. That's like my favorite part of listening to listening to an artist is the first time I listen to him, because it feels so special every time. So I've started out by giving 3 of my own favorites of the week to the people, and then I asked them to give something back to me. So I've created this whole playlist of like, I think we're up to 110 songs at this point.
Wow.
Different recommendations that I listen to, and I actually listen to the playlist because I think it's important to try and expand my music perspective. That's why I just listen to, because again, I love listening to music. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Whenever I'm not thinking wrestling, I'm thinking music, basically. And that's where it comes from. But my top 3 songs of the week. Yeah, okay. So I think one I need to put in there, one I've been listening to a lot lately, is okay. Let me just think. A rapper called I'm listening right now a lot to a guy called Saba, which is a rapper, an American rapper, lyrical rapper, that I like a lot. He just released a new album, I think this year actually, or last year, I'm not quite sure. And one of the songs is called Big Picture, which has this soul feel to it, while being like a rap song, R&B soul vibe to it, which I like a lot. And it has an amazing chorus as well. So definitely that one. Another song is also from a rapper called Denzel Curry, with his song X-Wing, it's called, but from his deluxe album, X-Wing from his deluxe album is also, let me say, his deluxe album is where he got in like a soul, an actual soul band into the studio to play with him on some of the songs from his original album, to give it like this soul vibe to it as well, which I loved. God damn, that was so good, especially the song X-Wing. So that's another song I would recommend. And the third song. Okay, yeah. I think I have it. Yeah. I think this third song is going to be completely from left field. And it's going to be one of, not a song I listen to very much at this time, but still one of my all-time favorites. I Want It That Way by, is it Backstreet Boys?
I believe so, Backstreet Boys.
Yeah. Love that song. Good God. Yeah. If you've watched, what is it again? Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the scene where he's interrogating the suspects, and all of a sudden all of them break into the song.
Yes.
Peak cinema. So yeah, I think that's the top 3 songs. Do you have a song I should add to my playlist?
I mean, if you're interested in like Japanese music, there's
I can check it out.
There's a girl named Ido.
Ido.
Yeah, ADO. She just made a new song. I think it's new. Called Elf. If you Google that on YouTube, I've been listening to that. That's really good. And there's another Japanese band called Creepy Nuts. And they are just exceptional. Yeah, from your laughter, I guess I could understand, yes, the name. But their songs are bangers.
Okay, yeah.
The ones I would recommend is, well, the only one I could actually pronounce is Bling Bang Bang Boom. So start with that and just kind of go down the list, I would say.
Okay, yeah. Definitely, I will check him out. Again, love trying the whole new experiences. So I will go check that out as well. 100%. Cool. Thank you.
Well, I think that's a great way to segue into the colossal question. Let's say they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that one. Oh, yeah, I think I have some. One that came to mind immediately. And this is because I like songs that feel big, if you know what I mean, like songs that feel grand.
Right. Okay.
Songs of and one song that I think I would love is the song "The World We Knew" by Frank Sinatra, which is a whole different vibe from all the other songs I just talked about. But that song, whenever I hear it, I get goosebumps. And when I get goosebumps from a song, that's like a whole different vibe from other songs. So I think that one, definitely. I need to get some rap in there as well, because it would feel weird to not have some rap in there. I think it needs to be a Kendrick Lamar song.
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar, from his new album, a song called Whacked Out Murals, which is also a whole different, like, it also feels big, but in a different way. It has like this, it sounds like a heel wrestling promo. it's basically him going down the list, saying why he's better than everyone, saying why he's pissed off, and basically putting his foot down and saying, enough is enough. I'm the greatest. You should know this already. You tried to put me down, but I'm better than all of you.
Well, I'm glad that you picked Kendrick Lamar instead of Travis Scott.
Oh, is that good?
Have you seen WrestleMania?
Yeah. I think it's very interesting that they chose him over a lot of other guys. Would have loved to see R-Truth going out there. That would have broken my heart actually if R-Truth had walked out there.
Yeah.
That would have broken my heart. So yeah, Travis Scott. I wish it was another. If it should be a rapper, I wish it was another rapper than Travis Scott. Because he doesn't give me the rapper. He doesn't give me the I'm a dangerous guy vibe at all.
Yeah.
When he does that. Okay, and the last song I had to. Okay, a last song. One last song. It should be. I think it should be the Buster song. I think it wouldn't be a Buster movie without the Buster song on the soundtrack. That just makes sense to put that in there. To get the whole to know, okay, now it's about this guy. So the Buster song in the end. So those three songs, the wiped out murals one, that should be for my heel part or for a part when I'm being heelish. And the Buster song is the introduction, and the Frank Sinatra song should definitely be for the climax of the movie, the big final act. Yeah, definitely. That I think that would bang, to be honest.
Hell yeah. And a solid 3 picks to say the least.
Yeah.
Now that we have the soundtrack down, everybody knows you get the soundtrack first. Then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays Buster? And you can't say yourself because you are legally obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
That's valid. Okay. Shoot, who plays me? And it's anyone. Like, of course, any known person, right?
Anybody you want.
Okay. Who plays me? I think. Oh, that's difficult. That's a difficult question. That's a good question. That's a very good question. Oh, I think the person that should be playing me is. I think throw in. We should have a brown hair guy. I'm thinking Brad Pitt, but he's not brown haired. That would just be me, like saying, "Oh, I look like Brad Pitt." I don't look like Brad Pitt at all. Oh.
I mean, if you want Brad Pitt, we could dye his hair brown and we'll pay him a lot of money. It's fine.
Yeah, and get him a mullet. I was also another guy that was popping into my head, but now I'm getting like very absurd with it. I was thinking Bam Bam as well, just because he's one of my best buddies. So I think he would get me down. Actually, a guy that gets me down perfectly. He doesn't look like me, but he's very good at imitating all the stuff that I do backstage and all my mannerisms. Michael Finn, another Danish wrestler, also from Body Slam. He's very good at imitating me and picking out different things that I do and then like shoving them in my face. So I think he would have the whole Buster act down to a T, to be honest. He's also a very good wrestler as well, so I would be honored if he played me. He doesn't look like me. He's done some
acting as well, if I'm not mistaken.
What?
He's done some acting as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yes. So he has the acting chops as well. He doesn't look like me though, and I think it's a very different look from me. If I gotta be honest. But I think he, like, the whole way I act, he got that down to a T. And he's an actor, so I think that way it would fit perfectly. And I would pay good money to see Michael Finn acting like me in a movie. I would pay good money for that. Definitely. I think Michael Finn. Yeah, Michael Finn.
All right, Michael Finn, if you're listening, you got casted. Congratulations. Now every movie has a supporting cast. Who would be 3 people with meaning to you and your story that would be in your movie, and who would play them?
Okay. Yeah, so I think 3 people. So I think we need my 2 tag team partners, Nick Nerva and Toby Zane.
Of course.
Or maybe we need my enemies instead. Oh.
I'm assuming that's Peter.
Yeah, Peter and Bam Bam could also be shouts. I think Bam Bam needs to be in there, anyways. And then it's just, is it Toby and Nick, or is it Toby and Peter? I think we need Peter in there because he was the start. And then I think and Toby, it would be wrong to not have Toby in the cast as well, or not cast, but have Toby be a character as well. So I think we shoehorn Nick out of there and put in Peter as instead. And then it's just who needs to play them. I think Christian Bale. He's good at like slimming down, and he has kind of. I think he can kind of get the same look as Peter Alexander. To be honest, like if an actor. Yeah, right.
Yep.
Like kind of get the same look, like face wise. So I think Christian Bale there. Bam Bam Quill. Who should play Bam Bam Quill? Maybe a guy. I don't know. Do you know Silas Mason?
Yes, I interviewed him.
Oh yeah, you did. Oh, awesome. Oh, hell yeah, I love Silas Mason. But I think Silas Mason is kind of like the American version of Bam Bam Quill, looks wise.
Okay.
He kind of has the same look. So I think Silas Mason for Bam Bam Quill.
And he also has some acting chops as well. He was in the On Claw movie, and he was the bear in Cocaine Bear.
Oh shit, he was. I didn't know.
No, that's a walk, not a suit.
Oh, that's the word. Oh, I thought. Oh, that would be awesome if he was the Cocaine Bear. I would have popped hard. Oh my god. But yeah, the Iron Claw. Yeah. So definitely Silas Mason. And then we just need Toby Zane. To be honest, I kind of feel like we need. I wish I could say Toby Zane because I would love seeing Toby Zane play himself in a movie.
I mean,
that would be so.
You could pick Toby. I think that would be fine.
That would be so funny to see him play himself in a movie. I don't know how he would pull it off. I think he would overact it, to be honest. He wouldn't just be himself. He would be more himself. That's definitely that's the cast. I got it. Yeah, that's the cast.
All right. And this is sounding like a great movie. A blockbuster, to say the least.
Yeah, Oscar worthy, I think.
Oh, without a doubt. And you could pre-order the tickets now.
Hell yeah. And if you buy them now, with a small extra cost of, let's say, $8,000, you can get the Sigma mentorship on top of it. I think that's a great deal.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. Use your Sigma coin to pay for the pre-order as well.
Exactly. And if you get referrals, the ticket price, the money I get from tickets, you'll get that back at some point.
See, it's practically free.
Yeah, exactly. At one point, though, I'm not sure when. Like, the movie has to come out first, and then it has to go to, like, streaming service, and maybe to Blu-ray or DVD if they still use that stuff. And then I need to like get a vacation as well because like I need to chill and so the money will come back at some point. Not now, at some point.
Right, we're only at pre-production, so it's gonna be a hot minute.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
On to a controversial subject: pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
No, definitely not. No, I personally I don't like pineapple at all. So no, and not on pizza. Like I'm the type of guy to also say no peppers on pizza and no onion on pizza. It should just be the cheese, the sauce, and maybe some meat, and then done. That's my type of pizza. So no pineapple. No.
Okay, so very anti.
Yes, very anti. That's my biggest. Biggest opponent ever. Pineapple on pizza.
What's your spirit Pokemon?
My spirit Pokemon. I actually think, like, usually I would go for something cool. I also think this is actually very cool, but I think my spirit Pokemon is Snorlax because I love to sleep, like ungodly amounts of sleep. Sometimes I can put on a wrestling match or a show or like a movie or something and just fall asleep. One point, actually, another travel story. When we were going home from the Poolin show, from the show with the war game match, Bam Bam actually asked me if I could check if there was any ferries that we could catch. And I said, yeah, sure. I'm going to check. And I looked up on my phone. And at one point, some time had passed, and Bammer, like, he was still waiting for me, and he asked, did you find anything? And he just looks back, and he sees me, like, snoring, falling asleep with my phone in my lap. And he just yells at me, have you found anything yet? And I wake up like, oh, yeah, I'm still looking. And then I look on, and he's waiting again. And he turns around again, and I'm asleep again, and he just gives up. So definitely Snorlax, 100%.
All right. Now, weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock, not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical Rock?
Ooh. I mean, Kenny Omega once wrestled a broom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be opposed to wrestling a Rock. How big is the Rock, actually?
It's around the size of a shoe, I would say.
Around the size of a shoe. Ooh, yeah, it might hurt a bit, but I'm not against it. I'm not against wrestling a Rock because I think it would, like, the whole Invisible Man against the Invisible Stan and all that stuff. That's like popping off. That pops off. So I think wrestling a Rock would pop off as well. So yeah, I'm not against wrestling a Rock at all. 100%. Yeah, I'm wrestling a Rock. Yeah. I'm just thinking of the tagline. I wrestled the Rock, and then it's just an actual Rock. So I'm not against it at all.
All right. Well, just for context, there's a wrestler named Psycho Mike that indeed wrestled a Rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
I mean, I know Psycho. I don't know, but I know of Psycho Mike, and I love his work as well. So I'm not surprised that he wrestled a Rock at all. That's actually very on par with all the stuff he does. I watched his match against himself once. That was awesome as well.
Oh, evil Psycho Mike versus Psycho Mike.
Yes, exactly.
How he knew that he was diabetic, I have no idea.
Yeah, I was very surprised as well. That was the lore during that match. That was perfect.
On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah, in 5 years. hopefully, what I believe myself as to where I can hit wrestling way more in way more countries. I'm looking into going to the States to at least train wrestling. Looking at some of the schools there. So right now I'm hoping to expand my width to outside of Denmark, and hopefully not only in 5 years, but hopefully hit it big at some point, of course. Going to the bigger promotions, but in 5 years, I see myself wrestling more, and like more places, more countries, and in general becoming a better, more focused wrestler in the ring, doing more good things. And another thing I'm hoping is expanding my Instagram as well, because I'm working a lot on that right now. I still haven't hit the traction I really want, but I see it like growing slowly and steady. So in 5 years, I'm hoping that my Instagram is big and that I am big as well. Yeah, that's where I see myself.
Coming to America, was there any specific state that you had in mind?
I have to remember what it was. I think it was Iowa. Yeah, I think I was looking at some schools in Iowa.
Black and Brave.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It was Black and Brave, or I'm also looking at Nightmare Factory.
Okay, so Georgia.
Yeah, exactly. That was like the two places I was looking for.
I would say sign up now because the queue is up until 2027. So it's gonna take a while to get there.
Oh yeah. I see what you mean. Then definitely, yeah.
I mean, if only Ohio existed, they have some really good schools there.
Okay, yeah, maybe I've. I don't think I could go there though. But yeah. I would look into it. I would try to look into it, but I don't feel good about it. Let's just say that.
If somebody was to ask you to recommend the match, what match of yours would you recommend that best shows off what you are as a pro wrestler?
Okay. Oh. That was also a good one. Because I think a match that I very much. I think it for me right now it's between three. It's either I had either my return from my ankle injury, because I think that was a very good match, and I was heavily featured in that match as well. Also,
who was in that
a match I had?
You?
What?
The return match. Who was it against?
That was me and Toby Zane and a tag team called Randers Penje versus Kollaps.
Okay.
Yeah. So Peter Alexander, Jackpot, Benjamin Kved, and a guy called Victor, who's like the big heavy guy. That was a match that I definitely think I did good in. Also, another match was me and Toby Zane versus Benjamin Kved and the Big Fat Daddy, BFD, which is a Danish wrestler, great name. Which I also think we hit it out the park with. I remember vividly the crowd being very into that match. Like it was very much an ongoing roar from the audience, all through that match. Like there was no break for him. There was no like pause where they weren't that into it. They were into it all the way. Yeah, I think those two is like my go-to, mostly because I feel like I was heavily featured, and I think we did a good job in those two matches. So I think those two, yeah.
Can we find those matches on YouTube?
Yeah, one of them you can. You can find the first one I talked about. My return match is on YouTube on Body Slam Pro Wrestling's YouTube channel. You can find it there. A bit into the video, there's like the whole show posted,
Okay.
which is it's like their Scandi Grabs invitational show, and the match is in there. So yeah, you can find that one on YouTube.
Perfect.
Good
And
show as well.
I will go onto YouTube and I will grab that match, and I will put it into the link of the video below, both on YouTube and Castbox, for anybody that hasn't seen it, wants to see it, wants to re-see it after this interview. And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom. This is our speed round, or bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
I hope so.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Oh, Bret Hart.
Worst wrestler.
Oh, Charmel. Does she count?
I'll accept that answer.
Okay.
You're main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Oh, CM Punk.
If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
Oh, I very much like actually CM Punk song. I like Cult of Personality.
Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is
real.
Squash. Vegetable or fruit?
Vegetable.
It is indeed a fruit. It has seeds. Tomato logic.
Damn. You got it.
New Japan wrestler Tai Chi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
I would say, right, like, there's the thigh, and then there's like the lower butt cheek. You can expose just that bit. If it gets any higher, then all of a sudden it's a thong and it's not trunks anymore. So like just the low part of the butt cheek.
Okay, so just like maybe like 5%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Perfect. And the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
I can't say I have yet. Hopefully in the future.
And that is the correct answer. And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
Of course, it was awesome. My pleasure.
Pleasure was all mine. Once again, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on at wonderkid_buster on Instagram. That's where I post the main part of all my content. I'm also on TikTok, where my ad is at wonderkidbuster. Yeah, and it's Instagram and TikTok is where you find me most of the time. So go follow me on those two.
and DM you for merchandise.
Yeah, exactly. DM me for merchandise. Or again, if you any questions or anything at all, you can also just DM me. I usually try to answer most fans and people who reach out to me.
Right. Gotta keep on your toes for those people that want that Sigma coin.
Yeah, exactly. I need to branch out,
Right. You don't have to type it into your Google machines. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Buy a damn shark.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment. But on YouTube and Castbox, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us every Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews, and follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Reddit, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, when I say wrestling wit, you say entertainment, okay?
Yeah.
For RA special guest Buster, Coleco Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James Shea, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.